I'm really excited. We talked with Ken Barkley at 8. I'm really excited for our guest at 8:30 because, Will, we're not just talking to anyone here. I'm talking to the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, the 6th Player of the Year, the now four-time Pac-12 Player of the Week, the 4th highest scorer in the Pac-12 currently, Reagan Beers of your Oregon State women's basketball, red hot right now. Reagan, good morning. Congratulations on the huge win in your home state. How you doing?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you on the congratulations. It was a great win at Colorado.
When did you find out you were Pac-12 Player of the Week?
I found out on Monday during a different radio interview, actually. I didn't know, and then he told me that I had won twice, and I was like, I think I only won once this year. And then he told me that I had won this week, so I was like, oh, that's cool.
It must be nice, Reagan. You've won this 4 times. You won it twice as a freshman. Now you've won it twice this year. Like, it's got to be nice to win it that many and not be able to keep track of it.
Yeah, it's a cool award, but what's nice about those awards is that most of the time I'm just doing what I'm told and I'm running the play right, and that doesn't really take too much. So the thing about those awards is that they're all team awards, in our opinion, and whenever we get those as a team, it took 5 people to get there. And so it's cool that I won Pac-12 Player of the Week, but really that award goes to my team, I think.
Well, you're from Colorado, and I know you had a lot of support in the building, and you were pretty amped at the end. But getting the program, help getting the program's first ever road top 5 win, it has to feel great, but it has to feel just a sliver more special to be able to do it coming back home in front of family and friends, right?
Yes, 100%. It felt so special to get that top 5 road win at Colorado in front of so many people that I have grown up with and that I love so much. So it was truly an amazing experience.
You know, from November 6th, to January 4th, you guys hadn't lost a game. And when I looked up the preseason top 25, I wanted to refresh my brain of like, okay, what did people think? I didn't see on the AP. I didn't see your team on the coaches poll. Not even a receiving votes category. Oregon State was not in any of that. So not a team much gave a look at. When did you and your teammates know this was different? This was special. Following the way the year ended last year, when did you guys know this is different? And people might not know it now yet, but we know it.
Mm-hmm. I would say after the last season ended, after the Pac-12 tournament, we had that little break. We all came back and we started working out. And once we got our whole team, and we went on a trip to Italy this past summer, we got our whole team and we were all playing. And that first game in Italy was truly something special because that was the point that I knew that this team was going to be something this year. Whether people knew it or not, this team was going to be something. And sure enough, we're showing that as we get deeper into Pac-12 season.
Yeah, forward for Oregon State women's basketball, Reagan Beers is our guest here. They got a big set of games this weekend. I'll be at the Friday one with UCLA, and then USC comes to town. I've never interviewed you before, but you were a 5-star player, McDonald's All-American. Just out of curiosity, what was it about Oregon State and Scott Rueck for you where you didn't even question it? You're straight committing. You've had a great career so far. What was it about Scott Rueck and Oregon State?
I know this might sound like a broken record, but the culture of this team is truly unbelievable. Obviously, the Pac-12 is such a unique conference, and I wanted to come play in a Power Pac conference at the Pac-12, and so that was obviously super important. And so, but the culture at Oregon State is just unlike any other. And so when I took my unofficial and then my official visit here, I knew this is something that I wanted to be a part of and in a team I wanted to be on.
I know you guys had great players coming back from last year's team. As you mentioned, you lose the Pac-12 tournament, and then you come back, you reset, you examine, you say, okay, we feel good. But I'm curious how big it was to get somebody like a Kelsey Reese to come out of the portal and transfer in. It's a weird world now, Reagan, where there's experience on these teams, but now the portal allows, adding pieces here and there that fit. How was it that she found her way to Oregon State, and how big that's been for you guys?
It's been huge. I mean, you've been seeing it. People that have watched her games have been seeing it, how much of an impact that she has had. I mean, obviously her height is helpful, but she is just so wise. And because she has been in the Pac-12 this is now her 4th year, I believe, because she has been through it so many times and on a team that has won so many times, she knows what it takes to win. And so Coach is constantly looking at her because nobody else on our team really knows what it means to truly win like Kelsey has. I mean, she's a Pac-12 champion, and so just looking to her for that kind of knowledge and that drive, it's just been super helpful this year. And then, of course, we got Sela, one other transfer, who's just been helpful going against that height and practice. She just continues to get better every single day. And so it's just been exciting to see all of our transfers and freshmen kind of learn our way and step up and do well.
I think people that have been following Reagan about your team is you guys are really good inside and out. I mean, not only you guys down low, but outside you got good guard play. Talia von Oelhoffen now has been there. How has she grown as a leader since you've gotten to Corvallis? How has she grown as a leader?
We have amazing guard play, and it just continues to show as our guards continue to knock down shots as we go on the road. But Talia has grown so much as a player from last year to this year, and everybody has seen it. I mean, if you watched even one of Talia's games last year, you watch her this year, and she has improved so much. I mean, defense, I feel like this year she's taking defense more personally, and you can see that. You can see her effort just overall increase, and that has helped our team so much as now we kind of see her as the leader and the anchor of our defense, and she's the person that we kind of feed off of. And so that has been super helpful and super great on our team as we need that when we go against these really good teams who have great offensive threats.
Reagan Beers is our guest forward for Oregon State. Red Hot and UCLA, USC are coming to town. Women's basketball growing at just an insane level right now. There's college games, Reagan, they're getting more eyeballs than NBA games. So everybody's in on the product. I'm curious, when you're not playing and you're not doing pottery in your off day, who is the player that you see highlights or you sit down and watch that amazes you outside of your own team, your own bubble? Who are players or a player that you watch or you make sure to watch when you got some time?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say I always love watching Aaliyah Boston play just because I feel like I can resonate with her in a way. And so just the way she played in college and so I just like to watch clips of her. But then obviously I love watching Caitlin Clark. I mean, who doesn't? That girl, I know I'm not a guard, but if I was a guard, I would aspire to be Caitlin Clark. And I mean, she just watching clips of her is like watching an NBA guy just shoot and rain threes all day. And so she's so entertaining to watch on my off day when I'm not doing pottery or basketball. So
I saw that Nebraska, when they pulled the upset, she was going for the record. Nebraska pulls the upset on Iowa, and one of the players hit her with her own "You Can't See Me." If Reagan Beers is down low, hits a turnaround jump hook, Oregon State goes up, not enough time, beats Caitlin Clark. Are you hitting her with her own celebration the way other players do, or are you just running down the other end of the court and waiting for that horn to sound?
I don't think I would do that. I mean, maybe I would say I would, but I would never do that to somebody else. I just don't think I'm not really that kind of player. I'd rather just go focus on defense because I know I need to focus on defense. I need to mentally lock in for that. And so if I do score, I'm running back down and I am going to lock down or try to lock down whoever I'm defending and ignore the play that just happened because it's over. So it's moved on and now it's time to get a stop. So my mind kind of switches really fast because obviously in this game it needs to when the teams are as good as they are.
I'll be down there Friday. My daughter's pretty excited to see you guys play because the season's been so special and you guys are, again, really inside-outside game is amazing. It reminds, I think, a lot of Oregon State fans of teams in the past. I'll be down there Friday for UCLA. You're trying to get revenge against these LA schools. I'm kind of curious, two-parter for you. You don't want to lose a game, but how much, because you guys haven't lost a whole lot, how much losing does in weird ways help you fix whatever weaknesses you might have or address areas that you can improve on? And what were they able to do, both UCLA and USC, that many other teams haven't been able to do so far?
Yeah. You're right. They do address weaknesses, and we had some weaknesses that were definitely addressed when we played them that first time in LA. And so we've been talking about it a lot this week, but they backcut on us a lot, and they took us to the middle too many times. They drove on us, and they got past us. We lost our positioning too many times when we played them that game, and then it caused some help rotations that just weren't effective. And so this week it's just been a really hard focus on not letting them go past us. And obviously what killed us when we played them both was rebounding. Because of our position defense, coach always says that our rebounding needs to be fantastic. And so this week we have really been focusing on that because they are two of the best rebounding teams, in my opinion, in the Pac-12. And so we've been really focusing on that because they exposed that weakness the first time, and we don't want a repeat of that this weekend. So
Reagan Beers forward, Oregon State women's basketball, getting ready for UCLA and USC. Reading about your background coming from Colorado to Oregon State, it's funny to read the stories because I think everybody or a lot of people that played sports, they have stories they could share similar. You grew up with brothers, so you're playing basketball against brothers, and I love how you acknowledge, like, they're a little bigger than me. They bully me around still. Most gnarly injury you ever suffered playing basketball in the driveway against your brothers?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think I remember a specific one, but there were times where we would eat, all of us probably took turns skidding across the concrete in the cul-de-sac, that we would get like the most hurtful cuts on our legs or the most worst burns that just burned in the shower so bad. I can't remember a specific one, but there were ones we would, I don't know, push each other to the ground, and then we would get some gnarly scars from that concrete. So I can't remember a specific one, but that was a common occurrence, especially between my brothers when they would go at it.
Yeah, the cement burn ones they actually tend to hurt the most. Those are the ones because they linger. Yeah. Anytime water or soap gets on it, it's exposed. It hurts a lot. It toughens you up, though, and gets you ready for a career like this at Oregon State.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
I'm coaching my daughter's 6th grade team. This is my 2nd year coaching. I'm not the smartest coach in the world, but I want people to participate in team sports. I think it's a really big thing, and I want my kid doing it. So I'm coaching my daughter's team. They're 6th graders, and not all of them really play. Basketball is like not their number one sport. You got any tips for me? We're 2-1 right now. We got a massive game this weekend ourselves. Any tips for coaching 6th grade girls basketball?
Oh, I mean, back when my dad was coaching me, he just reminded me that it was a game and it's supposed to be fun. I mean, especially at that age when they're all in 6th grade, most of the time they are just there to have fun, but you also want them to be competitive. So I would say that's my best advice, just to remind them that you're here to have fun because it is a game. Because that was the best thing my dad did for our team when he was coaching us, especially when we would get over competitive and just get so frustrated. He just reminded us that, hey, we're here to have fun. We're have fun. And then that would kind of just clear our minds, and we would actually end up playing better. So I don't know if that'll be effective on your daughter's 6th grade girls team, but I say give it a try. Maybe we'll see.
No, it's definitely a big thing. I tell them to go out there and have fun, and then I tell them, like, I know it sounds ridiculous. I don't care about missed shots. Just shoot the ball. Like, stop caring if you miss the shot. Just go out there and have fun and play basketball. I'll get you out here on this one, Reagan. What makes, just out of curiosity, I don't want to single just one player out, but I am. What makes Juju Watkins special? I know you've only played her the once, but what did you see from her when you played her?
Yeah, that's a great question. Juju is a really great player. And the thing about Juju is that usually when you're scouting somebody, you kind of can play their tendencies a little bit, or maybe force them into something that they're not comfortable with. Maybe like force them into a pull-up instead, or maybe force them to shoot a 3 because they're not as comfortable there. And so you can kind of force them into something that maybe they're not as comfortable in. But the thing about Juju is that it doesn't seem like she's uncomfortable really anywhere. I mean, it seems like no matter where you kind of send her, she's going to do something that's effective. It's something that's kind of in her comfort zone. And so that she was hard to scout against last time. She's hard to scout against this time. I mean, good players always are. And so, but that's the amazing thing about Juju is that she's like that. So she's a great player, and we're excited to have that challenge on Sunday when she comes to Corvallis.
You guys did good defensively against her. I think she was at 33% for the game. As you mentioned, got to hit the glass. I'll be down there for Friday's game. Good luck to you, Reagan. Thanks so much for hopping on. Look forward to watching you Friday and hoping you guys can finish out the weekend by beating both LA schools. Congratulations, too. A great season for yourself, but as you mentioned, you guys as a team, a lot of fun to watch and a great story. Thanks for hopping on with us this morning.
Thank you so much. Go Beavs.
All right, there we go. Reagan Beers, forward for Oregon State women's basketball, on fire right now and looking to exact some revenge against the LA schools. I'm going down for Friday's game. I'm looking forward to it. Bought tickets last night. Me and the fam heading down early, maybe get a little local boys, catch that game, and see what Reagan Beers and company can do against UCLA.